New York. President. Yes, sir. Si Mr. Disaster, maharlag may then ang dala natin yung College of Science natin is a physicist. Stan, si Christian, si Bago. Oo. Bagong din. Bagong din. Bagong din. Bagong din. Then yung director,
Dennis de la Torre, Dr. Gundra ng UP Manila, Jake Santiago, and Jake Mendoza, and Joyce Santiago.
But he's the executive director UP Resilience Institute. I-explain niya later on.
Nakita niyo na ba yung assessment?
Hindi pa.
Oo, yung kanina siya nakita ko. Ako hindi ko lang may visuals.
Pero
ang dami sir, UP next step Manila. Meron pa kami gamit sa Manila.
your citizens.
So we are stakeholder.
So, mahal will, Dr. Manhas, mahal po sa social weather pala. Dr. Lagmay will present. Very short lang ito eh.
Attorney Gigi, for the record, please use the microphone, please.
Yes.
For the record,
Okay. We will be presenting a very brief slideshow. And the one we will present is the Executive Director of the UP Resilience Institute, Dr. Mahar Lagmay. He will introduce the members of his team formally.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Just for the attendance, siyempre si President Navin Concepcion, si Regent Gigil, yours truly, Mahar Lagmay, si Dean Tapang of the College of Science, Dr. Chris Berse of the NCPAG College, NCPAG ng Diliman, and then Dennis de la Torre, who's into risk insurance. Dr. Carlos Primo Gondran of UP Manila, he's the head of the resilience program of UP Manila. And then we have Jake Mendoza, who's part of the UP Resilience Institute, as well as Joy Santiago. Okay, si Joy Santiago po sa likod. Mayor, this will be a brief presentation, probably 10 minutes. The title is Integrated Disaster Risk and Resilience Management for the City of Manila. We are under the UP Office of the President. The President is here accompanying us. We saw before coming to this room this document and the other documents that were presented to us from different cities. And this talk is basically to address all of these woes, all of these problems. Let me start by saying the purpose of the university as part of RA 9500, which should lead as a public service university by providing various forms of community, public, and volunteer service, as well as scholarly and technical assistance to the government, the private sector, and civil society, while maintaining its standards of excellence. We have a special provision in 2019, 2018 pa lang yung nakalagay dito, but the provision is specifically to help the LGUs in their formulation of climate change action plans, comprehensive land use development plans, climate vulnerability and disaster risk assessment, and multi-scenario probabilistic hazard maps, which is very appropriate for the topic at hand. The objective is to strengthen the DRR system of Manila. The time frame is, well, in total 2 years, but there will be delivery of several products within 6 to 8 months. Guiding principles are science-based with climate change projections, so this is very important. We are to use advanced technologies, the state-of-the-art, the best in the world, but low-cost technologies. Participatory process for capacity building and shared management and accountability. Transdisciplinary expertise, making use of the expertise of all faculty members of the entire UP system. And of course, sustainability. In terms of methodology, we would like to propose IoT, Internet of Things-based decision support systems development for disaster risk reduction and resilience. There will be institutional analysis, enhanced climate and disaster risk assessment, land use and development plan updating, or updating ito, siguro if we have to start from scratch. Disaster management systems upgrading, contingency and evacuation planning, DRRM and climate change action planning, capacity building, and development of risk communication products. There will be a phase 1, phase 2, and then a combined phase 1 and 2 delivery of products as we go along. In terms of key activities, we will produce the CDRM Atlas, climate change adjusted hazard maps, climate and disaster risk assessment enhanced, comprehensive land use plans, and comprehensive development plans, institutional analysis and DRRM systems development, IoT for resilience, action planning, local disaster risk reduction and management plan, and the local climate change action plan, capacity building, emergency simulations, tabletop exercises, and training programs. Of course, there will be a plethora of knowledge products that will be generated along the way. In terms of timeline and deliverables, year 1, CIDRA, CLUP, CDP, then year 1 and 2, evacuation plan, IoT sensors, SICAP, tabletop exercise. Year 2, the knowledge products, and then emergency management simulation and capacity building. Timeline is based on the experience of UP Resilience Institute Fellows in formulating LCCAPs, CLUPs, CIDRA, from different cities and municipalities of the entire country. There's a part there, selected LGUs of Cebu Province, that's the LDRRMP experience in 51. In the 51, is that correct? 51 cities and municipalities of Cebu. We start here. I'm showing just the flood maps of Manila. We see where there are steep floods, Padre Burgos, Manila City. This is just to demonstrate that we are going to use a scientific approach to solving the problem, and we have the capabilities to do so. We have the LiDAR-based technology, which is the base by which we produce flood maps and the other hazard maps, including storm surge hazard maps and tsunami maps. You can see the white part there, that's Paseco. This is 1 meter resolution. You can see the elevation. Smoky Mountain. Thank you. Smoky Mountain and some river, whatever. I think Tondo is somewhere.
That's Tondo.
That's Tondo. Pinili Serye. But that's 3D. It's just in map view, but we have a 3-dimensional representation of the entire Metro Manila. Science-based approaches, we know where it floods based on technologies with different intensities of rainfall. This is in Arpapa, in Rizal Avenue. You can see that the reason why it floods along that road is because it transects a river system. So there's a river there. That's why when the river gets overfull, the road gets flooded. Now, we would like to emphasize climate change scenarios beyond the historical worst case. This is the historical worst case as experienced by the community, but we need to model other scenarios as well beyond what is known by the community. So we have different scenarios. This is a capability that UP experts are very good at. Why is it necessary to capture scenarios beyond the historical record? This is a worst case scenario. When we ask people where they would like to put the evacuation center based on the experience, they will say here because it does not flood there. But if that flood event has not happened yet, we can still get them to visualize or expect that flood scenario because we have the capability to do so. The first low intensity type of flood or rainfall that will generate into a flood will look like this and agree with the historical record. But if the event that a bigger flood happens, which we can simulate and which you can put into your plans, then we know that we want to avoid that location. And that is the importance why we need to anticipate future scenarios bigger than what the community has experienced. We would like to introduce advanced technologies, low-cost Internet of Things, the network, which is much cheaper than what we have previously done. Star topology, data packet sensors identified for each sensor, message passing, it's got low power usage, lithium ion, and real-time visualization for your emergency room. We can put that type of network because we have the LiDAR. We can make a network, and within that network, we can just add low-cost sensors. It can be a street flood sensor so that you know when to suspend the class. Just from your room, you will see, or from your mobile phone, you will see whether it's flooding in a certain street. If we install all of those street flood sensors, rain gauges, tide gauges, accelerometers, which is very important, especially we're anticipating the big one, pollution meters, and river water level sensors. Hindi lang lumabas yung picture sa river water level. In terms of trying to monitor Manila Bay, we can install sensors and get the barangays accountable if we are to install meters there that would measure pollution along the river system. Participatory, our proposal is participatory. We have capacity building. We will integrate with all of the people, including all of the 100 universities in Manila. We will probably get them to take care of the sensors as well if the LGU wants that to happen, so that there will be sustainability. And of course, transdisciplinary across all sectors, agriculture, coastal water, health, forestry, and so on and so forth. We will be able to make use of the expertise of all faculty members of the entire UP system. For example, agriculture, UPLB, hydroponics, they're special, can do, what do you call this, community gardens, backyard food gardens. Coastal, we have the Marine Science Institute. Water, we have the National Hydraulics Research Institute. Health, we have UP Manila, of course, forestry, agriculture, and so on and so forth. Mining, we have, I don't think there's mining here, but we have the National Institute of Geological Sciences as well as the mining engineering departments of UP Diliman. We have, for sustainability, we have already built a platform that Manila, that the LGU of Manila can make use of. We have a login account dedicated for you, and you can input the hazard maps there, for example, and the exposure data, other data, vulnerability data, etc. And you can cross that to get the risk. And that platform is hosted in DICT and will be hosted as well in the College of Science. What's the building site.
Computational science.
Computational Science Research Center. It's both in visual form, graphical form, as well as table form. You can input the population data, number of households, and so on, so for each barangay. And automatically, it processes with the maps and then gives you the risk data and vulnerability information in table form. So in terms of sustainability, it's free. You can make use of that platform, and then it can be used again and again and again to update all of the information of Manila. The Internet of Things is very important, of course. We've built on experience in using IoT and big data for the entire Philippines. We put up, during Project NOAA, 2,000 sensors, and they stream data every 15 minutes. Up to now, it's still working, but we want to concentrate and focus on Manila and making use of the most advanced technologies currently available. Maybe we should put that away. That was just a glimpse, but commercially, I would think that for the IoT and everything, that would probably amount to about 70 to 100 billion. But this one is about that amount. It's much more than what you have here. And the reason for that is because the UP cost-benefit analysis is more effective, more efficient, more economical, and you'll be getting
yung question na yan, that is the expression of just natin yung step din ang UP stakeholder din po ng Manila. Hindi na namin yung question ng todo. Yeah, the pricing is really an expression of what the president of the University of the Philippines said earlier, that they are stakeholders of the historic capital of our country. We were founded in Manila. We are Manilans, despite the fact na 8 campuses na kami all over the Philippines. Davao, Visayas, Cebu, Caloocan, PSC, Manila, Diliman, Baguio, Clark, plus smaller units all over the country. Hindi sinasabi niya that this is a relationship. You can tap the entire intellectual resources of the university.
So, in terms of cost, picture mo tayo? Oo, picture mo na tayo. Bago umalis ang ating president, please the UP community. The UP community.
Your vote.
Thank you.
Early morning.
Ang kapunpal ko sa gabi, ang madaling araw, DOST pag-asa.
Ito na rin.
Kung lagi nilang midnight caller. Sige, please continue.
Okay, I think we're in the last.
We're in the last 3 slides. Cost-benefit analysis, it's effective, it's efficient, and economical. Key features, state-of-the-art science-based tools and methodologies, climate change sensitive, multiple harmonized outputs of CITRA, CLUP, CDP, LTRLP, LCCAP, CP, plan, etc. Deep pool of experts. We have 200 UPRI fellows and much more in terms of the faculty of the entire UP system, participatory and transdisciplinary, co-ownership and co-management, sustainability, and it's fully compliant with government auditing rules and regulations. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig ngayon.
Bago pa dyan eh. 2016 yata.
So anyway, well, una, thank you and welcome sa Oval Office. One thing for sure, we are grateful to the people of Manila. Grateful for the simple reason that binali ninyo ang tingin ninyo pabalik ng Manila. And we've been calling a lot of people attention to look into Manila. We need specialists, we need a group of people who are best in their field of undertaking. Simply because I don't want to keep on spending money without direction. As you can see, I think DILG's commentaries and assessment with regard to the city of Manila, we failed on everything. Yes, we out of 17 LGU in Metro Manila, at least we're number 1. But ascending. Pag dito magsisimula, out of 17, we're number 17. Municipality lang yung isa, yung Pateros. So, at isa sa biggest failure namin ay yung mga ganitong klaseng pag-aaral. Na wala, kaya bakit ang Manila, walang direksyon, walang pinupuntahan. So, what you see nowadays in Manila is elementary of governance. We're just trying to do the basic way of governing. That's why, of course, while we do this every day, while we do this every week, every month, we want to put, give the people of Manila a direction where yung ending, there must be an end game. But hindi naman namin minamaliit ang aming kakayanan, pero wala talaga kaming kakayanan as of now, because in the absence of data, there's nothing to resolve. Kasi mahilig magpubli ang gobyerno ng Maynila sa kanyang mga suliranin. Marami kasi dito in recent history that they would rather have picture taking just for purposes of addressing the problem. But the thing is, after that picture taking, wala na. So I want to put an end to this type of habits of leadership in the city of Manila. It's hard, it's not easy, it's not going to happen overnight, but we have to start somewhere. So that's why we are grateful with you coming here today and putting interest or giving much attention to the capital of the country. Talagang I think napapanahon na 8 days spent billions of pesos in the past without data addressing the problems. That's why we end up with nothing, because it was done in a shotgun approach. I would rather spend 20 million pesos to have a full, thorough study for our city to be included in our direction. Because what you're presenting here is just one of many problems. But these are high risk in terms of hierarchy ng problema. Ito yung mas makapamberwisyo kasi property destruction, facilities, accessibility, to top it all, life threatening. So more than 20 million, I think, I cannot just, hindi ko pwedeng ikipin balikat na lang yung buhay ng isang tao sa halagang 20 million lang. Kasi ang buhay ng tao, walang katumbas na halaga. Dapat ang pamahalaan nagbibigay ng pahalaga sa bawat buhay ng tao. That's what you call governance. So, consider it done, do it ASAP. Ang maganda lang dito, ang makikinabang sa ipabayad namin, pamahalaan din. Educational institution na lang, but you're still part of the government. Okay. Bring back one slide.
No, the last part.
Last slide?
Last slide.
Fully complete.
No, sige, last slide. Go ahead. More. Ups. See, up, back. One. See, 1, 2.
Look at the 7 bottom. As you can see, the last 3 words. Public Service University. So I would rather partner with government agencies with full of expert people, and they've been doing it in the whole lifetime nila. And you're going to do it for the whole country. So kaya kami nagpapasalamat. Now, do it ASAP. I think the people of Manila deserves better things from us. So that later on, may take a year or 2, I don't mind. You know why? It's been 20 years, there's nothing going on. Para kaming barko na walang timon. In English, rather, may makina, may tripulante, may kakayanang capacity in terms of capacity, pero paikot-ikot lang sa dagat. Kasi walang timon, walang rudder. So walang pupuntang direction. And I want to put an end to that kind of governance. So please, process Chief of Staff, itong aming ahensya, nandiyan po ang aming mga kawani ng pamahalaan kasama namin sa paglilingkod. Let's do this for the people of Manila. Okay? Chief, congrats ha. So sa inyo, we're done, we're okay. Do the paperwork. We'll pay you 20 million. Okay? Sige, proseso nyo na yung papeles. Saka hindi kayo mahirap dahil gobyerno sa gobyerno lang. Parang bulsa sa kanan, ipapasok lang sa bulsa sa kaliwa. Pero isang katawan lang ang nagmamayari. Yeah. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Medyo bigla rin yung bilis mo pala mo isa. I'm speechless.
You can ask the media here. You can ask them. I really try to answer and resolve immediately things that can be resolved within the day. Because yung pagdidili-dali, yung pag-iisipang pa yan, I think it is, well, we have this attitude. We give value, more value to time. And the most expensive commodities in this world is time. If I may put that in right perspective. You can lose money. In fact, we don't have money today. We don't have money for this year. Sakit. But I know come January 1, there will be new fresh funds that we can allocate and prioritize, like in this case, social amelioration program. And this type of... So, yan yung tinuturo ng teacher. Kapag ka gusto, maraming paraan. Pag ayaw, maraming dahilan. We've lost 2 decades of opportunity, and I cannot wait for another day for any type of development for the city of Manila. So that's why, consider it done. Gulat ka ba, Tommy?
Nagulat ako.
Mukhang sa dami ng syudad na nakausap mo, hindi pinakamabilis na oo.
But rest assured, Mayor, that we are ready when you are. We are ready. They're very excited to do this. Una-una, government to government. Number 2, we're saving lives and property, and we are going to be, kung nakita po niyo yung package, hindi lang yung disaster resilient, pati agriculture and this state, our university. But this afternoon, Mayor, we'd like to stress that the University of the Philippines is a Manila citizen. We are Manilans. We were founded here, so we are Manilans. So this is really Manilans helping Manilans. Yun lang po yung important. There's not, of course, the technical will be that. As I said to you in private, Mayor, when these things going and the going gets tough, this will be your best friends.
Thank you. I really value life. In valuing life, there is no such thing as demographics. All things are given equal weight if we talk of life. Sa pagbuhay ang pagpapahalaga, walang mayaman, walang mahirap, walang bidabilas. Lahat pantay-pantay ang halaga ng buhay. Manu pa, if I may borrow what Magsaysay said, President Magsaysay. Those who are blessed in life must have more in love. And this is what we call tunay na pagmamalasakit sa mga mahihirap. Yun ang pagkukupiyan. Kaya yun ang gusto natin mabago sa mindset ng ating mga mahihirap na kababayan. Na meron mga pamamaraan ng gobyerno na ginagawa na tugunan yung kanilang suliranin sa pangmahabang panahon at pangmatagalan at higit na kapaki-pakinabang. And may I want you, with your help, that's why I've been asking help to everybody, to anybody, every time I was given an opportunity. And I don't want to miss this opportunity, this chance of us getting this type of comprehensive plan. Kaya gusto nyo, assume nyo, aralin nyo na rin yung aming what we call the how can we be a green city. It's that I know you have specialists there because you've been watching news already. I hope by this time you know what's going on in Manila. We've been opening space, open green space, bring it back to the people, make use of it with regard to its purpose. Kaya kami ang ginagawa talaga namin, elementary of governance. Basic, the ABCs. But I cannot stop there. There must be a direction 10 years from now. Kailangan merong uuwian. Now, the guarantee is, can we succeed? That I cannot guarantee. And again, I would rather try and fail than fail by not trying at all. May iba naman. Ibang approach naman. They have done what they have done. You know, kung anong ginawa nila. Sige, may awa Diyos. Thank you very much talaga sa inyo. Pagputihan ninyo, tulungan ninyo kaming mapagmalasaritan yung mga kababayan namin sa puso. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pwede ba siya sumunod sandali?
Sige.
Mayor, nakakaiyak pala kayo. Dahil nakakaiyak na nakakatuwa. mahihain. At nagpunta naman kami dito talaga para tumulong. And I'm sure that it's not just us. Everybody is seeing it. All of the faculty members of UP are seeing it. And I'm sure that they all want to help. Not just them, but all of the other universities as well. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. Thank you. Meron pa kayong tanong? Kasi next tayo yung may mag-donate na naman.
Sir?
Yes. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is for Dr. Maharlagmay.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Sir, in layman's term, bakit po inabot ng 20 million pesos yung package? Can you please tell us the details? Ano yung gagawin natin? Bakit ganito yung
Ayun,
cost?
may details kanina. Back konti.
Sir, palayman, yung ano po, kung yung technical.
Konti
Pero
lang.
yung
Konti lang.
slide.
Back mo konti. Meron kanina ako nakita. May pacing yun eh. Yung may presyo kanina. Konti-konti. Yan o. There you go. There you go. Yan.
Yun lang ang stop.
Barat na po.
Kasi G2 eh.
Saka ako, with all honesty, if I be back in to the answer, I am ready to pay 100 million. I'm ready to pay 500 million. Because I think for the past so many years, look at the records of the city of Manila, we've been spending billions already with our MDRRMO. Tama ba, Director Angeles? And yet, you ask us today, do we have this type of plan? And I'm gonna answer fairly. Hindi para maliitin ang aming mga sarili. Kasi itong gobyerno, ito yung kinaharap ng gobyerno. The answer is none. Yeah, we may have some facilities, edifice. That only answers things after the fact. Eh yung before mangyari, paano maiiwasan ang pagpapahalaga sa yung maiwasan yung mga what do you call that? Chances of getting or facing sakuna. Ano yan? Nature yan. Mahirap. Basic nga niya, leptospirosis yan. Pababain ko na, huwag muna yung wave, kuryente, and so on and so forth because of lack of information or advanced information for the people to be ready and the city to be ready before disaster will arrive. Yun ang tingin kong pinaka-key. So, sa akin, okay yan. Ewan ko sa kala kung namumurahan sila. Ako, mura sa akin to.
Sir, it's kind of hard lang for our viewers to digest what Internet of Things mean. We know it, but can you give us concrete examples? Like, for example, the installation of several transmitters or whatever, sensors.
Tagalog.
Yung ano po natin ngayon, meron tayo mga stasyon na tumitingin lang ng temperature, ng klase ng tubig, karami ng tubig, sa ilang mga points lang sa buong Pilipinas. Ang gusto natin ay damihan itong mga sensors na to para kaya-kaya natin mag-predict kung ano ang mangyayari sa isang kalsada, ano ang mangyayari sa kabilang kanto. Hindi po kagaya ngayon kapag tinignan nyo kung ano ang mangyayari sa Manila o kaya sa Pilipinas, sasabihin sa buong Metro Manila ganito ang mangyayari. So ang gusto natin, kaya ni Mayor makita ng ating disaster team per site kung ano ang mangyayari. At magagawa po natin yon pag maglagay tayo ng mga sensors na pwedeng makipag-usap sa bawat isa, kahit walang kuryente, pwede silang makipag-usap para kahit nasa gitna tayo ng sakuna ay makikita natin kung ano yung nangyayari sa panahon na yun. This information, as the Mayor said, will actually be having good decisions.
Sir, follow-up. Does this also involve the establishment or the construction of a disaster management office? Like, for example, the one with screens, a control room, because the way I understand this, the one in the 3rd floor or 4th floor ata is not working at all.
Separate.
sadly, if I may refresh your memory in recent history, it was like 4 or 5 years ago,
2014.
we came up with an idea to establish the backbone of communication in the city of Manila, and using some hardwares in the streets of Manila to, at the very least, monitor the traffic problem in the city. But with the backbone installed, the 275 wireless cameras installed in 4 months at a time, and we created a bodega. There's a bodega in Port Road, full of water, was converted into a command center, the largest command center, and the most, at least at the time, I would modestly aside, kasi ang hirap magbuhat ng bangko dahil we were the one who orchestrated, the things, itong command center. Ang susunod na sana doon, whether condition, integration with the national government's access to their existing application, data management, tapos population data management, healthcare data management. Kasi pag yan, ipinasok mo sa command center, that's why they call it command center, nagagamit siya sa particular na circumstansya. Let's just say, let's go back to the topic. If we have flooding, or no, if we have bagyo, which I would believe that out of 12 months, about 8 months in total, there will be rain in our country. Kasi maikli lang ang summer time. So in between a normal time, meron pa rin pag-ulan. At most of the months of the particular rainy season, the monsoon season, bugso ang bagyo. And remember, geographically speaking, Manila is composed, and Manila is being divided, Manila is being divided by our creeks, rivers. If you look at the map of Manila, we are surrounded by creeks. And unfortunately, during the flood season, and naalala niyo last week nag-uusap tayo about sewerage system natin sa drainage system, nagtataka ko, yung kalye ba, pero yung ilog, half full. Siyempre, hindi umuwi yung drainage system ng Manila sa ilog. Ilog is a natural catch basin. So there must be some problems with our infrastructure development. So kaya pagkagastos lang kami ng gastos, about 700 billion or 700 billion, about 800 million a year with our construction of our roads and drainage system, but hindi nag-uusap. Parang magkaaway na telco lang. So yun ang nangyayari. Kaya kung bakit nalulungkot kami with regard to your question, after all these things, even the emergency cost, we even bought a Cisco system. Parang mabigat na hardware ka, parang alam hirap magbuhat ng baho, but record switch. But today, ano meron doon? Naging collection area ng MTPP nung araw. Naging palengke, durug-durug. Naging opisina ng hindi dapat maging opisina. Sad to say. Now, will I blame anybody again? The people knows it already. Kaya nga they were kicked out of the office. So, that area can be utilized by the city. All these things that I have said, and especially with what will be the result of this type of data that is going to be gathered by UP. So, yan ang aming, so doon yung area pa rin sa fourth floor. Sure.
Sir, last points of clarification. Sir, magkano yung nagastos natin for the 275 cameras na hindi nagamit? No idea.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea because I'm not a mayor then.
Okay. Sir, for UP, kanino pa po natin in-offer itong plan na to? Kaninong cities? And anong cities pa po yung nag-yes or nag-no?
Unang-una po kay Mayor Isko ng Manila. But on September 20, which is next week, I'll be talking to the Laguna Province CTRR post.
Sir, bakit yung ibang Metro Manila cities hindi nauna sa pipeline?
Kasi po bagong-bago po itong technology ito na dinevelop po sa College of Science. This is the latest and most advanced. If not in the country, in the world.
Yeah. Latest Manila.
Hi sir, good afternoon. I'm Trisha Terada from CNN Philippines.
Merong speaker dyan.
Ayan.
Huwag mo lang hawakan yung yung what do you call that? Gooseneck.
Ayan. To the gentleman of UP muna po. No? Sir, I understand these are sensors, advanced technology. In a way, will this help the city government of Manila predict flooding? Because it's been a problem yung flooding here in Manila. Will this be in a way a flood mitigating system or mostly pang-detect lang din siya ng conditions on the place?
Detection.
Yung forecasting po, yung baha po kasi nangyayari po yan dahil sa ulan. Ano? So forecasting yan, ginagawa din po ng Pag-asa yan. Although kung gusto po, meron din naman kaming ginagawa sa UP, sa College of Science din, ang tawag Weather Manila sa Institute of Environmental Sciences and Meteorology. No? Mayroon din mga predictions doon. Yung mga sensors natin, actually tinatanong kanina kung layman's terms kung ano ba ito. So isipin natin itong instrumento na nakadeploy ng ganyan all over Manila. It's low cost, that's why marami na tayo pwedeng malagay. Tignan natin ito na parang mga instrumento na may mga mata at saka may pang-amoy, may pang-detect. No? Inaamoy niya yung hangin, sinusukat niya yung ulan, ganong kadami, sinusukat niya yung water level sa kalye, no? Pero lalagay natin yun dahil maliliit lang ito doon sa mga street lamps, no? Para hindi nakikita, para hindi nakawin, no? So kumbaga marami tayong dinideploy ng mga instrumento na may, isipin natin may mga mata. So para silang mga robot na nag-uusap-usap at yung kausap nila sa huli ay si Mayor Isko para yung desisyon ni Mayor Isko ay may masihan at maganda.
At ang pinaka-immediate na magagamit ko dyan, class suspension. Ang galing class suspension.
Nakaawain ngayon ng mga bata, UP na.
Pero
More than the class suspension, because I always say that I will never suspend class without valid data. While it is true that I value life, I value also education. If, data analysis or analysts, especially recognized by the government or government agencies, will base our decision kung ano yung nakita nila, ang instrumento nila at ang mga scientifico nila. Now, more than that, here we are. Let's move on. Let's move on like 2 years from now. Meron ng plano ng Manila. Ito palang Arpapa, kaya pala ito laging baha. Una, geographically, mataas ang Caloocan sa lote ng Manila. So, basic science, I don't have to be a scientist. So, rainwater from the roads will pour in to Arpapa between Manila and Caloocan. Then here we are, if we go to Hermosa, is the same level of the Caloocan side road and Hermosa side road. So ano mangyari? Catch basin yung in between. Ito mas malapit. In between the east side of that road and the west side of that road, there is what we call creek. Sa likod ng Chinese cemetery. Andiyan ba? Ayan. So, kung mapapansin mo yan, kaya pala itong Arpapa ay ganito. Now, sabi natin, I remember there was a construction made, road construction made in that area a year or two ago. Now, did they address the problem? No, I don't think so. Last week lang, baha na naman sa Arpapa. At babaha ulit sa Kalaw, kanto ng Top Avenue. See? There must be something wrong. So, I think kulang kami ng guide. The city has no guide at all. Now, halimbawa, let's just say, let's move on. O sige, ay kailangan pala magkaroon ng dike o magdagdag tayo ng open space. O hindi, gawa na lang tayo ng catch basin sa ilalim ng Arpapa o kalye. Pero itabi natin sa may bandang sementeryo na pag-aari ng lungsod ng Maynila. Dahil hindi ko naman pwedeng isaalang-alang ang kaligtasan ng LRT sa kanyang pundasyon. I'm not an engineer, I'm no engineer, but this is just like let's playing and toying with the idea on how to resolve this. But if we cannot, and if we don't have data, then magiging persistent kahit gaano pa asfaltado yan, kahit gaano pa kalinis yan. Because nature will, baka magagawa, talagang hindi mo ginalaw hindi mo binago yung nature ng crate. At that time, walang tao, pero ngayon maraming tao, kaya hindi mo na ma-address yung situation. So you have to adjust. So these are the things that we need in decision making. When the gentleman from UP told, it's for the mayor's decision. So pag later on, pagpaplano na ng pagbabudget ng pagawaing bayan, magkakaroon na kami ng hierarchy of priority. Yun ang end game nitong data nila. So it's quite a long term. Pag inisip mo, yeah, it's been 20 years. Baha pa rin sa Arpapa. So if we can wait for another 10 years so that the rest of our lives, of our youth today, will benefit from it in a good way, then so be it. We pay the price today so that the future of our generation will have this kind of new Manila, bagong Manila. So, yun yun. Kaya worth it yan para sa class suspension talaga eh. Any more? Okay. So muli, maraming salamat sa inyo lahat. Thank you. Thank you.